Hello everyone, and for this 500th video of mine, I'm going to be doing this every Spider-Man Adversaries tier list maker. And wow, this is the biggest one I think there is. It might not be the best put together from what I've seen, but look! There's no names on the bottom of these, and I think they're in alphabetical... Oh, I just messed one up. Alphabetical order. But, yeah. There's a lot to get through. Wow, over 250 it says, and I believe it. Well, maybe, I haven't checked. So there's S rank, A, B, C, D, F, and NA. So it says NA, and okay, I'm trying to move my finger here. I shouldn't really. So NA, I don't know, I guess that kind of means like adversaries he's fought, but they're not 100% Spider-Man. Rogues, like, for example, Red Skull. Yeah, Spider-Man's faced Red Skull at least twice in his own annual 5 of Amazing Spider-Man, issue 325, I think. Or 320, no, 325, anyway. But, yeah, Red Skull was kind of behind Peter Parker's parents getting killed in a helicopter crash because he found out they were, like, double agents. So there, oh, here's Black Widow. Yes, she did fight Spider-Man one time in issue 86. That was actually the first appearance of her costume, her modern costume right there. But it was just one issue, if I remember right. Alright, I remember it was only one issue. I don't know if it ever happened again. Oh, here's I think this is supposed to be Quicksand, because I see her in the bottom left. And that's it. I think that's from issue 107 of Web of Spider-Man, but I'm not so sure. Well, you know what? No, I guess she has Sandman powers. I love having Sandman powers, so I'll put her up in D. I don't want to just go through here in order, but here's the Arranger. He's kind of like the Kingpin's second-hand man, or Kingpin, I meant. Well, yeah. Nope. Let's put him in F because wow, he's just a normal guy, and he even gets killed. I want to kind of search. Ooh my! Look at this. I'm having so much fun already. Okay, I better use my mouse. Draw him the backwards man. Okay. This is such a big list. I'm gonna have to put it into somewhere else and keep track. Draw him the backwards man. I think it was Marvel Team Up issue 31. And oh god, he doesn't even deserve to be in D. He is definitely an F tier. This guy only appeared once, and Spider-Man even forgot about him existing. He was a guy who aged backwards. He was born really old and ugly, and then he became, you know, young, and then they smashed a mirror over him, and he died. And then he was forgotten. Here's this character called Assassin 9, I think. Just an assassin. Again, F. I mean, there's going to be a lot of Fs here, I hate to say. Maybe not, I don't know. Oh, this guy. This was Peter Parker's... This was Aunt May's old boyfriend who was a criminal. And it was a whole story in Web of Spider-Man Annual 4. But, of course, he's an F, because he's just a normal guy. Black Hand Gang. I forget what issue they were in. But, they stink. Oh. There's the Hulk, the Incredible Hulk. This is the movie look of the Hulk, from the MCU, or from the 2008 movie. Definitely the best Hulk in live action. But of course, NA. Yeah, there was Amazing Spider-Man issue 14, the first appearance of the Green Goblin. Spider-Man fought the Hulk in there for a few pages, and then there was Annual 3 where he had a misunderstanding with the Avengers because they sent him to capture the Hulk so they could help Hulk, but Spider-Man just thought it was going to be to capture the Hulk. And then there was issues 119 and 120 where Spider-Man fought the Hulk in Canada, and there was other issues like Amazing Spider-Man 381, and then there was Web of Spider-Man, I think it was issues 90 or 70, I think, where it was like Spider-Hulk. And then there was Spider-Man Volume 2, the next chapter. I don't know many numbers, but yeah, he's definitely fought the Hulk more than just a handful of times. Oh gosh, this is gonna haunt me for 500 video. I guess this is good. So there's this picture right here of Chameleon 2099. Wow. Alright, so Chameleon 2099. I forgot to talk about his one story, which was in Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man issues 17 through 19, where Spider-Man in the black suit and Sandman work together, and Chameleon 2099 is the villain behind it. And I forgot to talk about Chameleon 2099 in my complete history of Chameleon video. There's only one story. I guess his powers are cool, so, you know, I'll put him in D. You know, it's future. Maybe I'll go in order, because I don't really want to just go up and down the whole time. Oh, let me do this. This is Will-O-the-Wisp. He's a forgotten Spider-Man villain. He even became an anti-hero in the future. He has the power to move through walls. He can shoot bright things out of his hands. Here's another character created by another forgotten world called Dr. Jonas Harrow. But he's a cool character, and he's not F, he's D. D Owl. So this is where it kind of is like, okay, I can see why, but of course I'm gonna put characters like the Owl. He's a Daredevil villain. And NA, yes, there's the ginormous Owl Octopus War in Spectacular Spider-Man, issues 73 to 79. Or I guess it was just until 75, because clearly Dr. Octopus beat up the Owl, but the Owl's appeared in some other Spider-Man stories over the years. There's this one where I put in my top 5 best lizard stories video where he has the lizard, or Kurt Connor's, kidnapped because he wants his legs cured, and he's gonna have Kurt Connor with his reptile DNA experiment fix it for him. And then there was a Marvel Knights Spider-Man where he kind of makes a cameo, tricks Spider-Man into getting revenge on Vulture and Electro for him. Here's the Man Spider from Taz. I don't know if I would call him a Spider-Man villain. And why not? He's really cool. I guess his powers are cool, but other than that, I really only think of him from the animated show. I don't want to put just an A, and he's really cool, but D, sorry. Alright, I think this is Man Mountain Marco, the forgotten Spider-Man villain, who just has super strength. Again, D. Here's the Iguana, but he kind of, you know what, we'll put Iguana in C. I like characters like him. Of course, that's the version from the Amazing Spider-Man video game. Hybrid, he's kind of a hero, though. Huh. But he's really cool. He's a hybrid of all the symbiotes like Agony, Rage, and, you know, Lasher, the green, yellow, gray, Riot one. But he's really cool. I'll put him in B. I really do like him. Hypno Hustler. Oh gosh, he is a joke, but just because... Oh, I accidentally picked up Sticks and Stones. I'll put him in C. I mean, he's very well known, you know. Lady Stiltman, which is weird that her name is Stiltman, but Lady is before it or something. Definitely D. I like Stiltman enough. This guy is this robot called Shock, who fought Spider-Man, I think, only one time. F. D. F is for, like, my god, you stink. Sticks and Stones. I actually think Sticks and Stones are really cool. Sticks is a guy who can rot people and things just so I touched him. And Stone's just this big, buff guy with a bunch of guns. They fought Spider-Man, I think, a few times. I know 3 times at least, so I'll put them here. Especially when Sticks got his redesign. Tarantula. There's a second Tarantula in this ranking, but this is the first one, who worked with the Jackal one time and got mutated into this giant spider thing. I also like him. See, here's the Masked Marauder. He's kind of a Daredevil villain, but I'll put him in D because, well, Spider-Man, he first appeared in the first as Daredevil issue 16, where Spider-Man and Daredevil teamed up. Then he was in this Spectacular Spider-Man issues 25 to 30, I think was on issue 30. Anyway, Boomerang. They really updated Boomerang, definitely B. They made him a much more interesting character. Let's do this guy. Rapper. I don't want to say what it probably really sounds like, but he only fought Spider-Man, I think, Spectacular Spider-Man Annual 2. Definitely an F character. I mean, a wasted Cavalier guy. Nitro the Exploding Man. Not really a Spider-Man villain. I know I put some characters here that are probably more someone else, but... well, I like the story. The character's super powerful, but I will put him in D. I mean, besides Civil War, he's kind of forgotten. The Answer. another forgotten Spider-Man villain, but he made such a big impact on me. No, I liked him so much reading him for the first time. I'm putting him in B. Spencer Smith, the creator of the Spider Slayers. He didn't really do much, but, I mean, create Spider Slayers, so, but the Spider Slayers are here, and I'll put him in C. And also put this, I'll put this guy in D. I mean, I think that was from issue 191 of 191 of Amazing Spider-Man. Or was it 190? No, it was 191. That robot was very boring. He just crawled on a wall, basically. Here's this one from J. Jonah Jameson when he became, or another time that he was a Spider Slayer. That was, he and Will-O-the-Wisp sort of unintentionally teamed up to fight Spider-Man. So there he is. Here's Sandstorm, one of the very few images of Sandstorm. He's kind of an F villain, but I like his powers again, so I'll put him in D. Here's Farcade or something. Only appeared in 1 or 2 stories. F. Molten Man, right? You could probably get a better picture of Molten Man, but whatever. B. Yeah. Oh gosh, we haven't really gotten to an A character. Let's search if we can find an A character. Well, this is the Daniel Beckhart Mysterio. He only appeared a few times, but his story I really liked. It was either my first or second Mysterio story, so I'll put him in A. Definitely. This is a Thunderbolt, member of the Wrecking Crew, and I guess he's here from Amazing Spider-Man issue 148, where he fights him, and there's the Kid Who Collects Spider-Man's mini story that happens right after. That's very iconic. I would put him though in not applicable. I mean, he's not really a Spider-Man villain. I would actually say that. The Beyonder, I mean, yeah, he's been a multiverse villain, just the Marvel Universe villain. And A, alright, I see one. Green Goblin. Definitely up in S because just of his appearances, and I really like that story, Superior Spider-Man. That's his looking to Superior Spider-Man. He killed Gwen Stacy. He caused his son to become the Green Goblin unintentionally also. I mean, I guess he didn't do it on purpose, but at least in the original story. And just his crazy appearances, and one thing about Green Goblin, I was kind of looking back on it, it's like find kind of ridiculous. He's always like gains his memory, then loses it, gains his memory, then loses it, and I get that's kind of I mean, it's kind of like the movies. I love the movies with Green Goblin, where of course there's only been William Dafoe Green Goblin from Spider-Man 1 and Spider-Man No Way Home, but in those I really do like the multiple personality thing they did there. And of course, Green Goblin has also done stuff like he was the mastermind behind the Clone Saga. Norman Osborn himself became leader of the Dark Avengers. Anyway, here's Carnage. I really do like Carnage. I would, No, you know what? Carnage is definitely one of the most evil characters in all of Marvel Comics. Him being a Spider-Man villain, having a super powerful symbiote, stronger than Venom and Spider-Man combined. I'm speaking so fast, I hope you guys can hear me. I would put him in an S as well. Fusion 2. This is the second character to be called Fusion. I think he's way better than the first one. He had a great storyline where he teamed up with Dr. Octopus and made Doc Ock look like a little baby for a moment. So I would put him up in C. And doing that, if I can look really fast for the first one. Nope, I'm not going to actually. Here is Chance, another forgotten rogue. And then I made a video, and there's so many forgotten rogues in here. I'll probably make a video on so many of them, and just gives me so many ideas for future videos. This is Chance. He's not going to be an NA. He's a bounty hunter, an assassin that just takes chances on what he's going to get paid and what he does. He had a great story in Amazing Spider-Man 298 and 299 where he worked for, it was Carlton Drake's first appearance. Carlton Drake, they made him riot in the Venom movie, where he was like, I'm not going to work for terrorists, so he and Spider-Man team up. So I'll put him in C, actually. I like him that much. Here's the Bow Silk. He's fought Spider-Man and the Thing one time in Captain Marvel. I'll put him... Oh, man. I want to put him in F, but no, I'll put him in D. I'll put him in D. Silver Sable. I don't really consider her a villain, so I'll put her in not applicable. Here's Cardiac. I think Cardiac is really cool. I love all of his stories with his artwork. I'll put him all the way up in B. He is an actual doctor, and He's an anti-villain, a very interesting character for an anti-villain, so I do recommend if you want to read something a little different. Here is Proto-Goblin. He went after Captain George Stacy and his brother. I forgot his brother's name off the top of my head, but he was there. And he fought them, and he apparently died. He was only in one issue. Now, the guy who was Proto-Goblin, this was Norman Osborn made one of his workers, Neil something, Proto-Goblin as an experiment on the Goblin formula, and that worker was actually in the Amazing Spider-Man movie, but he was killed by a lizard in a deleted scene, but still cool that he was in a live-action movie. But he was just D. This guy's Armada, I mean, again, just like a, you know, one appearance, I'll give him an F. Here's Scorcher, I remember him being cool. He was in the Untold Tales of Spider-Man series, I'll give him a D. Delilah, again, another D character. I mean, she's appeared a bit more, but same thing, she's just a good fighter. Here's a villain, the Mega Spider Slayer. It was in my top 5 best Spider Slayer stories at number 5, but I really like that version of it, so I'll put him up in C. Here's Silvermane. Believe it or not, I actually really do like Silvermane, so I'll put him all the way up in B because he is a gangster, but he becomes a cyborg robot. The First Rose. I made a forgotten video about him, Richard Fisk. I'll put him all the way up in A because he is definitely one of my favorite Marvel crime bosses ever. This is the Absorbing Man. Again, I kind of view Absorbing Man as a Thor villain, so I'll put him in an A. Oh, Medusa. An A. She fought Spider-Man twice, I think. I mean, just solo twice in Amazing Spider-Man 62 and Spectacular Spider-Man 12. Here's Electro 2099. He's actually has a really, he has some, oh my goodness, he has really cool stories, you guys. Like, there was one where he was tricked by the AI from 2099 that he has. He's an android, and his story is actually kind of interesting. There are these robots, drones in the future that help construction workers, and this one just went kind of off the wall, you know, glitch, and he decided to have his revenge, but I'll put him in C. Dr. Octopus. I think he is Spider-Man's greatest enemy. Look at that. Put him all the way up in S. Oh, also these are not, you know, obviously these are not like, oh, okay, let's say there's 100 now. It's like, number 3 is Doc Ock, number 2 is Carnage, number 1 is Green Goblin. No, I'm not ranking, excuse me, I'm not ranking them that well, but just making sure that I just have them in the right tier places. Otto Octavius, I mean, this is the villain who killed Spider-Man, and he became the superior Spider-Man, and of course he's in the movies, great. He's in the video games, great. He becomes Monster Ock and Atrocity in the video games, which I saw here. Up here is the first fusion. These two, I think they're kind of like very small people with big heads, but then they turn into this power guy for one issue in Amazing Spider-Man 208. But I like their story enough. I liked it when I was a kid. D. This is the Crime Master. This, or I think this, I don't think there's a second one, but if I do, I'll go through and redo it. Oh, here's the Orb, but he's more of a Ghost Rider villain. So put him in NA. Cobra, I know he's fought Spider-Man as well, but I think of him more as a Daredevil villain. I think he's also fought Thor. Wasn't he Thor in the Thor comic? It was his first appearance, so I'll put him in NA as well. What was I talking about? Crime Master. D. I mean, you know, Cold Heart. She's actually, I don't think she's the only cold-themed Spider-Man villain, isn't she? So I'll put her in C. I mean, very few appearances, but good enough. Puma. I like Puma. He was in Spider-Man 2, PC video game. I'm just saying these things like over and over again, but I've said like 100 times. Thomas Fireheart, he bought the Daily Bugle one time to give Spider-Man good press for, you know, paying him back for helping him one time. And he also paid for him and Mary Jane's wedding, I think, or honeymoon. I'll put him all the way up in B. Lightmaster, he's kind of like, oh gosh, how can I say? He's kind of like Green Lantern with his powers. He's just a mad doctor. He's a professor. He worked with a tarantula and Craven one time. Good enough story, but you know, I would put. I mean, no, I would put him in B. Oh, I'm sorry. B. Because I view this as, like, let's say, Cold Heart had as many appearances as Dr. Octopus has had. Yeah, she probably would be in C still, because, you know, Blood Spider, my very first complete history of video was on Blood Spider. He was a minion for Taskmaster, and that's really all we know. I mean, he has a cool suit, but just because of that, I'll put him in C. My own personal opinion, these guys are Daredevil villains, the 4 animal-themed villains. I know they have fought Spider-Man once or twice. Here's Anti-Venom. Is he really a villain? No. I'll put him in NA. Dr. Phosphorus. Yeah, he fought Spider-Man in Amazing Spider-Man issue 170. But not really a villain. Black Bull. I think he only had 1 appearance. F. Calypso, she's in the new Kraven the Hunter movie, or she will be. She's Spider-Man's voodoo villain, and for that, I put her up in B. You know, another unique character, Doppelganger. This video on my channel, The Complete History of Doppelganger, is my most viewed video ever, so you go all the way up in B. I guess, like I said, it didn't matter what place they were in the ranking, but I'll put him up there. Electro. One of my top 10 favorite Spider-Man villains. He's always seen as a loser in the Marvel Universe, but to me, definitely S tier. He has so many powers, he is super powerful, and he's always, you know, laughed at and looked down upon, but hey, I guess that's just how it is. Here's Carry On. There's 3 versions of this guy. I think there's only 1 version in this picture. Well, here's the Voltrons. They were only in a few issues, but I'll put them in D. They're just above F. Oh gosh, where was Carry On? I'll put him in B as well. Or, oh gosh, Voltron's in D. Carry On in B. Because it's kind of like a zombie theme. Here's Toy. He's a minion for the Tinkerer, but, oh gosh, where was he? Oh, here he is. He only appeared in 2 issues, I think, so F. I mean, that's really all he did. He had super strength. The Rhino, another one of my top 10 Spider-Man villains. He is a lot more than just a big strong guy villain. He has, it's very good. His stories are the best ones where you see his personality shine, how he has a good heart most of the time. Oh gosh, I think this is a character who oh gosh, Spider-Man teamed up with Doctor Strange to fight her, and then she possessed Valkyrie, and then she possessed Valkyrie's sword, and that was it. So F. Marvel team up stories. Oh, I think this is issue 150. I mean, it was good enough. D. Oh, jeez, I keep forgetting the tier list. Squid. Maybe Squid shouldn't be this high, but I did like his story where he kind of confronted his father and didn't even end in a full fist fight, so I made a video about him. See? Oh, here's the Schizoid Man. I think he only appeared in 1 issue fighting Spider-Man, but F. Sorry, man. Cloak and Dagger, they're heroes, so F. Clash. I haven't read a story about him, but I do know how he's like a big fan of Spider-Man. He found out that Peter Parker was Spider-Man right after Amazing Fantasy issue 15, and they fought a little bit, he wanted to be a hero. Yeah, you know, I'll put him in D. Oh, whoops, didn't mean to put Silver Sable up there. That's not what I wanted to do. Ricochet from the Spectacular Spider-Man show, aka Fancy Dan. I mean, it was a good interpretation. A really good reimagining, so I want him in D. Big Wheel, D. I mean, he's only appeared in a few issues. Oh my goodness, come on. This is what I get for using my finger to do this. Here's a, oh gosh, I think her name was Strikeback. She was the Ringer's wife, and after the Ringer died, she worked with the Sinister Syndicate and manipulated them into doing stuff, and she was also in the Deadly Foes of Spider-Man series. Or no, that's not Strikeback. Strikeback is what the first Ringer villain became, but oh god, I think she just called Ringer 2 or something. I'll put her in D. The Beetle, he first fought the Human Torch. I think in that story he also fought the Thing, and then he became a Spider-Man villain over time, the leader of the Sinister Syndicate. I'll put him all the way up in B. Need more A characters. Here's Atrocity, D. He's cool enough. Black Abbott, F. Oh gosh, Bloodshed, F. Oh no, you know what? I'll put him in D, I guess. Oh gosh, Knight something. I forgot her name. Since I forgot F. The Big Man, the first one, Frederick Foswell, Big Man, from Amazing Spider-Man issue 10, and he sacrificed his life to save J. Jonah Jameson in issue 52. So because of his character, I'll put him in C. Maybe I'll change some parts of this list and put more characters higher. Humbug, D. Captain Power, F. Agony, D, just because I like symbiotes. I think this is, oh gosh, another symbiote. Oh gosh, I forgot her name. D. Oh, Mac. Oh gosh, that's an M, I think. Anyway. Oh, what happened there? Did I just lock my computer? Sorry about that. Oopsie daisy. Let me pause the video. Oh, but that's not going to work because I was an idiot. Thankfully, I can continue. I thought I was going to release some personal things, but it did not, so I cannot. So I don't have to restart this video. Here we go. Where was I? This is like a Scorpio ripoff character. F. Diablo. He's a Fantastic Four villain, but he did fight Spider-Man one time. This character I don't even know, but F. Vulture 3. F. Only appeared in 2 issues, 127 and 128. The Kangaroo. I think this is for all of them. D. I'm gonna go through this a little bit faster. Mirage. D. Anna Kravinoff. D. I wanted to put her in F, but Ace, F. He only appeared in 1 annual of Spider-Man. The Ultimate Spider Slayer. I actually really like Alistair Smythe in the cartoons. So, A, yeah, another A character. This is Darter, another forgotten Spider-Man villain. F. I'm doing a lot more Fs now. Her, I don't really know. Again, F. Oh, I do know. I think she was in like 2 issues. Werewolf by Night. He's a good guy. Crusher Hogan. / Bonesaw. You know, I'll put him in F. He's not really a villain, but here's Goldbug. I actually like his story where he fought Spider-Man in a Spectacular Spider-Man series. Blackheart, he's a Daredevil Ghost Rider villain. I think it's because he first appeared in a Spider-Man Daredevil team-up story. I think it was Daredevil issue 270. Stunner, Dr. Octopus's girlfriend, but she's not exactly a loser, so up her in C. The Blob, I consider him a X-Men villain, so not applicable. The Death Squad. Good enough idea. I'm in a video. I'm going to keep saying the same things over and over again. Green Goblin number 3, Bart Hamilton. He appeared in 1 5-issue storyline. Amazing Spider-Man 176 to 180, and it was even built up before then. So good enough to be, I want to put him in C. Yeah, D. Where's D? Oh, here's the Living Brain. I mean, he's iconic. He's just a robot, though, but I'll put him in F still. Come on. Demo Goblin. This was the second Hobgoblin, and he got possessed by a demon during the Inferno X-Men storyline. And him and the demon split apart, and that demon became Demo Goblin. He was in the Maximum Carnage storyline, and then when the second Hobgoblin got even more powerful thanks to the Grim Hunter, he sacrificed his life. So I would, I like him a lot. I'll put him in C. No, I'll put him in B, actually. Again, I like Goblin characters. This is the 4th Hobgoblin from Big Time. I'll put him in B. Oh gosh, I might mix up characters. Anyway. Let me see if I can get rid of these dumb weird ads. Don't even go there. The Gentleman. Now this is just a normal old wealthy guy. His brother was the Finisher, one of the Red Skull's henchmen who died in Amazing Spider-Man Annual 5, and he got the Sinister Six together in this storyline of novels, and it worked. Or he didn't kill Spider-Man, but the Chameleon betrayed him because he was always treating people like garbage, and Chameleon got his revenge and killed the Gentleman. But he was also in he was the guy in the shadows in the Amazing Spider-Man 2 movie and credit scenes, so they were building him up. That was really cool. You know what? I'll put him in C as well. Gog, he's a giant monster, but that's it. But he's cool enough. Put him in D. This character, Necra, I'll put her in F. She only appeared once. Blaze, he was a joke villain. In fact, I think wasn't he the first one in Amazing Spider-Man issue 103? He was the Human Torch, I think, because they were trying to play a trick on these college kids who were going to be doing bad things. So Spider-Man and the Human Torch teamed up to teach those kids a lesson. So I'll put him in F. The Empathoid, a robot that possesses Morbius and tries to possess Spider-Man to survive, but he doesn't, he dies, so F. I forget this character, but just a wrestler, F. I think this thing right here is called the Dark Beetle or something. It's the second Beetle villain. F. A lot of F characters, honestly. Hammerhead Noir. I'll put him in B. I really like Spider-Man Shadow Dimensions. That's my favorite Spider-Man game. Pity. This was a character that the gentleman tried to trick Peter Parker into thinking that it was his long-lost sister. And it kind of worked. I forget if the ending, it was revealed to Spider-Man the truth about her. She has the power to just throw darkness all around. It's like I would kind of compare her to Cloak from Cloak and Dagger. The Electro had a crush on her, actually, in the story. I'll put her in C as well. I mean, I guess those two go together. The Enforcers. In issue 10, issue 14, issue 19, they teamed with Sandman and fought the Human Torch. They're just a bunch of goons, really. But I'll put them in B. They're so iconic. Bullet Killer, this is the second one. I mean, D. Anyway. I think it's a Shang-Chi villain. Fu Manchu, I think. Not applicable, I would say. Cyclone, he first appeared when Spider-Man went to France. He fought him. It can create tornadoes. I'll put him in C. That's a cool enough power. Just a guy named Joe. I mean, F. Yeah, I guess he's technically a villain. Belladonna. I have just kept forgetting to make a video about her, but she appeared in 3 issues of Spectacular Spider-Man. And her stories were good, but that's really all she can do. It's just blow smoke. Another Spider Slayer. This one sucked, though. I mean, that one's going to go to F. Tombstone. Definitely up here in B, I will put him, because Super Strength became a crime lord. There is a storyline, Death of Tombstone, that was really good. Definitely his best story. His whole relationship with Joe Robertson was good. Electro. The newest one, Francine. She was Electro's girlfriend, and then she killed him, I think. And then she just took over. I mean, C. Just Electro. Just the 1000 F. Oh, gosh, that storyline is disgusting. This Spider Slayer. D. Gaunt. He was apparently killed by Norman Osborn in Amazing Spider-Man issue 38, but he came back in this robot. He was the guy who did the experiment on Norman Osborn in the movie, and then Norman Osborn killed him. And he comes back as this character called Gaunt. I guess it's cool enough. I'll put him in D still. I say all that, and I was like, man, you're still D. Human Fly. I did a lot more with Human Fly over the years, so I will put him all the way up here in C. Gosh, what was this guy's name? Freak. This is the guy who was on drugs, and he did some drugs in Dr. Connor's lab after he escaped and Spider-Man and broke into and accidentally fell into his lab. That turned him into a ginormous literal freak. He only had one story, but it was unique enough to put him up in D. Dr. Jonas Harrow. He created a lot of Spider-Man villains that are forgotten, but he had some great stories. He's a mad scientist, kind of like Hugo Strange. So see, Hate Monger or Man Beast. I would put him in NA, kind of more of a Fantastic Four villain. Solo, hero, Fantastic, or not Fantastic Four, just a anti-hero. Egghead, yeah, he fought Spider-Man in Tales to Astonish issue 59, where he teamed up with, or Spider-Man and Giant Man faced him, but yeah, Griffin, I think he's more of a X-Men villain. Whiplash, Iron Man villain. Herbert Landon, he kind of, yeah, of course, he looks like Two-Face, right? He replaced Alistair Smythe in Spider-Man the Animated Series. I actually think he was really cool, so see, of course, he was also, he also became a giant monster in his premiere episode. The Tri-Sentinel, a D. Green Goblin number 2, Harry Osborn Green Goblin. I actually like this version of Green Goblin more than Norman Osborn, so I put him all the way up here in A, or in S, sorry. This was from the Spider-Girl universe, where Normie Osborn became the Green Goblin. D, that was the universe where Spider-Man lost his leg while fighting crime one time. Gibbon, aka Martin Blank, yeah, that's his real name. He's here, of course, and I'm gonna put him in D. You know what? I actually like the character. He was the last character of, Spider-Man villain Stan Lee created before stopping writing the Amazing Spider-Man title. So I'll put him. I'll put him in B. Yeah, he deserves to be in B. Photon, he fought Spider-Man and Nova one time. The Headsman, D. I like how he's kind of on his own little glider. That was from Untold Tales of Spider-Man. King the Conqueror, an Avengers villain, but he fought Spider-Man, the Human Torch, and the Inhumans, and Iron Man in this one Marvel team-up storyline. Jack-O-Lantern. I guess this includes all versions of Jack-O-Lantern. Or maybe, let me... From what I can tell, oh, here's Thanos. He's going to be an NA for sure. But he did fight Spider-Man in Spider-Man issue 18. No, that wasn't 18. I think it was 24, I think. It was during the Infinity Gauntlet storyline that picture is from. Anyway, Jack-O-Lantern. I think this is also going to be the Roger Kingsley Hobgoblin. I really like this character a lot. Keep going up. Yep, we're going to put him all the way in A. Yeah, another A character. I really do like how Jason Philip McIndale, that was the Hobgoblin in Spider-Man, the animated series. Jason Philip McIndale was Jack-O-Lantern, then he became the second Hobgoblin during the 6-issue storyline in the 80s called Gang War. And then he became, you know, half Demo Goblin. He was possessed by Demo Goblin, etc. And then there's other versions of Jack-O-Lantern, which is cool. The Jackal, he was kind of the big Spider-Man villain back in the day, where replaced after Green Goblin died. He was the mastermind behind a whole bunch of things for a few years, with the Grizzly and with Hammerhead and with Dr. Octopus and with Scorpion and with the Tarantula. So I'll put him in A. Yeah, a lot of people don't like the Jackal, but he's an A. Although, of course, I made a top 5 best stories video on Jackal for my birthday. J. Jonah Jameson. N.A. I do not view him as a villain. Why do people view him as a villain? And this character, this character isn't real. Come on. Forget about him. Definitely F. Magneto. He fought Spider-Man when he had his cosmic powers one time, but that's all I remember. Dr. Doom. He fought Spider-Man in issue 5 and some other times, but of course he's Fantastic Four's greatest enemy, so I'll put him in N.A. Iceman, he's fought Spider-Man twice in a big way, so I'll put him in N.A. Again, Brother Power and Sister Sun. Sister Sun is actually Shashan, Flash's girlfriend at the time. She was also his crush in a Spectacular Spider-Man cartoon, but it's during a hate monger story arc in Spectacular Spider-Man issues 12 through 15. And they're forgotten, and, you know, F, I mean, they're not exactly villains. Scorpion 2099. I like him in the video game a lot. I like his fights, one of my favorite levels, so C. The second Beetle, I know that in the comics she's part of the superior foes of Spider-Man. She's Tombstone's daughter. I mean, I don't think Spider-Man's ever really fought her. I think it was his superior Spider-Man, but good enough character to go all the way up here in B, honestly. Goblin 2099. I don't really know that much, but C again. What was the original Beetle in B? Maybe I'll put him in A. I'll put him in A, actually. Yeah, that's, you know, thinking about it, I like Beetle a little bit more than that. Kazar, not applicable. The Kingpin, I want to put him in A. I do view him as a Spider-Man villain and Daredevil villain, so up here in A you go. Oh, Pain. Now this guy only appeared in one issue. One issue fighting Spider-Man. In the Amazing Spider-Man issue 153, where it caused a very sad story to happen. One of my favorite one-shot Spider-Man stories. Of course, this guy doesn't even have any powers, but it was a good story, but the guy himself just got uppercutted by Spider-Man, and in that story, Spider-Man actually said the H word. This is Trapster, the Fantastic Four villain, so an A. Lizard, one of my favorite Spider-Man villains, number 4, my 4th favorite. all the way up in S you go. I love Dr. Connors. I'm so glad that Tobey Maguire finally fought Lizard for a few seconds in the last movie. Dr. Kirk Connors trying to do the best for humanity. He was actually in the war, and that's how he lost his arm. One war, I forgot which one it was. And he became a giant monster reptile, and just because of stress or randomly, he will turn into the Lizard once again. My favorite story with him is in Amazing Spider-Man issue 365. And that was one of the important stories where they had like a holographic cover, and or a moving cover, whatever you want to call it. And it was really interesting. He was also the first villain in Spider-Man the Animated Series, and in the Amazing Spider-Man movie. The Lobo Brothers. There's guys who can turn into werewolves. Lasher. I don't even remember much about him. I just know what he is. F. Hitman. F. Human Torch. They bicker a lot, but not really a villain. Hobgoblin 2099. Again, I'll put him in B because of the history saying that, hey, maybe he's part robot, parts of the other dead goblins in the past just dug up. Yeah, I like him more than Green Goblin 2099. The Looter, or the Meteor Man. Again, this is a forgotten rogue who definitely has a lot more potential. I'll put him up in C. Yeah, super strength. He's a loser, though. But he has had great stories. He actually became homeless. Arcade. Put him in NA. The Finisher. F, just a guy. Freak. This guy called Freak. F. Kindred. I've grown to like Kindred. Oh gosh, who is Kindred really? It was disappointing. It's not Harry Osborn, it's someone else. It was a disappointing, but before then, it was really cool to make a new Spider-Man villain who kind of relived and had ties with Mephisto and all that, so I'll put him in B. Yeah, that much. Man-Wolf, I'll put him all the way up in B because this is J. Jonah Jameson's son. And he became this werewolf monster called Man-Wolf, but it was cool enough because, actually in Spider-Man 2 he has the gemstone on his chest. The character from Spider-Man 2, he becomes the Man-Wolf. I think there was a deleted scene, or not deleted scene, it wasn't made, but it was going to be made where, like, you would hear howling in the park, in Central Park. They hired extras for the scene, but it was never shot. So Man-Wolf was almost in live action. Well, not really, but almost had a cameo in a live action movie. Kind of like Morbius from the first Blade movie. Or maybe it was the second one. There was a deleted scene with Morbius in it at the very end. It was going to be shown. Anyway. There's a lot of scrolling. Sabretooth. He is a Wolverine villain. And A. Grey Gargoyle. Yeah, he's fought Spider-Man a few times, but I view him as a Hulk villain. Grim Hunter. This is Kraven the Hunter's son. But he was killed by Kane during the Clone Saga, but he returned and he became a little bit less cool in his appearances. But his costume, I actually like his costume, so I'll put him in D. I think this is Midas, the Golden Man. F. He only appeared in one issue, I'm pretty sure. This is the Hero Wraith. Yuri Watanabe, so N.A. Jigsaw, Punisher villain, but yeah, I fought Spider-Man one time. N.A. Judas Traveler, during the Clone Saga, he had some things to do, so I'll put him in D. Frankenstein, N.A. Juggernaut, yeah, there's the iconic Nothing Can Stop the Juggernaut storyline he was in. N.A. This is for Karma, this was in Marvel Team Up issue 100. N.A. Gladiator, yeah, in Ultimate Spider-Man, he did fight Spider-Man, and there was a Spectacular Spider-Man 77 where he fought Spider-Man in the normal universe, but still an A. Here is Morbius the Living Vampire. Yeah, he's more of a hero nowadays, but just having a vampire Spider-Man villain, A, definitely. Yeah, I like him that much. I think this is Foreigner. I think he's the villain of the Kraven the Hunter movie, live-action movie that will come out. He's a cool gang boss person, so C. Mace, he fought the White Tiger one time in he was only his, oh gosh, he had appearances in the Spectacular Spider-Man storyline in when Roger Stern was writing him, and he has a giant mace for a hand. That's really it. Mr. Negative from Spider-Man PS4 is right here. I'm not really a fan of Mr. Negative, and I didn't even really like him that much in the game. It was kind of like, really, that's the main villain? we have most, like 99% of the game. Obviously it wasn't 99%, but still. So, I'll put him in B though. Mad Thinker, Fantastic Four villain, Mesmero, X-Men villain. Yeah, they fought Spider-Man before, but come on now. Mysterio, my favorite Spider-Man villain. Quentin Beck, the first one. Master Illusionist. He's been in so many Spider-Man video games. Definitely S tier. He can conjure up and make it seem like anything is happening. You know, he can create multiple. He can make it seem like there's multiple versions of him somewhere. That he's flying. That he created, you know, other villains to pop up from just behind him to help fight. He's an expert in robotics. You get Scryer or Screer. He was in during the Clone Saga. Powerful, but just with Judas Traveler D. I think this is an X-Men villain. Professor Power, not really Spider-Man themed. The Mad Bomber from the Spider-Man 3 video game. F. Warlock, he's an X-Men, but he did fight Spider-Man in Web of Spider-Man issue, or Annual 3, Web of Spider-Man Annual 3, he was in there. Lunatic, Spider-Man fought him one time in Defenders issue 61. Moses Magnum, I think he's an Iron Man villain, really. I know he was in Marvel, or Spider-Man, Giant Size Spider-Man issue 4, where Punisher and Spider-Man teamed up to fight him. Phase, the yellow symbiote, I'll put him in D again, because another symbiote, randomly, just put him in D. Equinox, and it's fought Spider-Man enough. I mean, he's a cool villain also, so I'll put him in D. The third Mysterio, the mutant who can teleport, Francis Klum. I actually think he's cool. You know, I'll also put Equinox in C because cool powers. Come on. Sandman, my favorite Spider-Man villain growing up, around the time of Spider-Man 3. Definitely up in S. I love how his powers, he can shape change. He's gone from being a villain to being a hero to being a villain again. Spider Carnage, I'm just gonna put him up in A because you know, I mean, this was really his only appearance was in the Spider-Man Taz. Yeah, he had one story in the comics with when he possessed Ben Reilly, when the Carnage symbiote attached to Ben Reilly to Scarlet Spider, so I'll put him in B. Super Skrull, Fantastic Four villain. Oh wow, are we almost done with this list? Not really. In A, he was in Marvel Team Up issue 61 and 62, written by the great John Brine. I think it says Hammerhead. He's one of my favorite Spider-Man villains. So, my favorite Spider-Man gangster character. I love how they gave, you know, they write him so old school 1920s gangsterish, and he has his hard head in more ways than one. The Grizzly, a forgotten Spider-Man villain. Maybe not so forgotten anymore, but he was ridiculous. He was a wrestler, and he wears an exosuit to commit crimes. He wanted revenge on J. Jonah Jameson for ruining him. So, okay, no more I talk about him, the more I like him, so I'll put him in B. Not really much in A. I mean, oh, here's Scorpion. He'll go in A, I say that. Mac Gargan, he was hired to spy on Peter Parker to see how he gets pictures of Spider-Man from... He was paid to do that by J. Jonah Jameson. But, Jameson decided to see, hey, would you like to to fight Spider-Man yourself with powers? He said yes, and that mutated him into the Scorpion. Not really up in S tier, but he's definitely deserving of A. Here's the second Tarantula. I think it's more of a hero, actually, but I'll put him in F. I mean, I don't know if he's a hero, really. The Painter, I'll put him in NA. I mean, he's more of a Human Torch villain. Kraven the Hunter. I like Kraven. I like the Kraven's Last Hunt storyline. The question is S or A, but I'll put him in A also. I mean, yeah, that one's kind of hard. I like his storylines. Grim Hunt, Hunted, his Kraven's Last Hunt. He's the stepbrother to the Spider-Man villain Chameleon, who, don't remind me, let me look for Chameleon here. I think he's on the very bottom somewhere. Nope, that's not him. I almost touched this person. Surgeon General, Daredevil and Spider-Man villain together. They fought her for one issue. I think it was issue 165 or something, or yeah, 165. Tyannia or something. She first appeared during the Secret Wars storyline. I think her and Absorbing Man are boyfriend and girlfriend, but N.A., she's not really a Spider-Man villain. Oh, where's Charlie? How'd Charlie get in here? From the 3 issues of Spider-Man and Electro's greatest story, but I'll put him in F, because, come on now. Punisher. N.A. again. Now, I was looking for the Chameleon. Here he is. I'll put him in A as well with Kraven. Master of Disguise, the greatest spy of all time. My first complete history of a big Spider-Man villain, but I really do like his psychological thing. I think that's the best thing about the character is his messed up head. How he hates himself, so he always kind of takes people's identities as the Chameleon. Fire Lord, he's not really he's not really a villain. Red Ghost, he's a fantastic... Well, Fire Lord is a villain, but not for Spider-Man. Red Ghost, a Fantastic Four villain. Razorback, he only fought Spider-Man for like a few pages. He's more of a hero. In that storyline, he was, how do I put this? In the Sinister Six, the storyline with the Gentleman in Pity, he helped Spider-Man stop Mysterio in the first part of the book, in the trilogy called The Gathering of the Sinister Six, where Mysterio had his own solo story plot. Oh, this is Paladin. He's not really a villain. Ringmaster, I don't know if he's that much of a villain for Spider-Man, but I'll put him up here in D. Oh gosh, Charlie Polestar. You know what? I'll put him in D. Where is that guy, the second Molten Man? I really like his story. I mean, he's only appearing for one story, but it was good enough, and it was very memorable, so C. Who else was I gonna... Oh! Is this also the Kangaroo? What the heck? Was there 2 Kangaroos? Am I going crazy? I'll put him that one in NA before... this is a Nighthawk villain character called Mindy something. Namor, he's a good guy. But he has fought Spider-Man a few times, so NA again. Psycho Man and Puppet Master. NA. Puppet Master fought Spider-Man in Marvel Team-Up issues 5 and 6. In issue 6, he and the Mad Thinker teamed up. Psycho Man, he fought Spider-Man one time I know of. I'm trying to get these characters who won't really... Oh, here's the android of Mr. Parker that was created by the Chameleon to... kind of see if Peter... Again, it's kind of like the Scorpion origin where Chameleon had his parents... Or have it seem like Peter Parker's parents came back to life, and in doing so he would find out Spider-Man's secrets, but it did not work out, and then the android of Peter Parker's dad tried to kill him. It's kind of weird to explain it, but I'll put him in F. Come on. The first Spider Slayer robot, I mean, this is a classic. Come on. Up here in B. Never tiring, never slowing down. From issue 25. That was also the first appearance of Mary Jane. This is the Fox. He was in Strange Tales Annual 2. Spider-Man and the Human Torch teamed up to stop his evil plan, but that was only appearance, so F. This is some Mariner villain, but Spider-Man did team up with some Mariner one time in his own comic series to stop him. Luke Cage in issue 123, right after Gwen Stacy and Green Goblin died. J. Jonah Jameson hired Luke Cage to stop Spider-Man because Luke Cage kind of believed at the time that Spider-Man was a villain, and things just did not go his way. Or I guess it did. Oh, here's Quicksilver. Just a misunderstanding is why they fought. I think they fought twice, and when the second time was during the Infinity Crusade story arc. Oh, the Serpent Men from Marvel Team Up issue 111, where Spider-Man and the Devil Slayer, quote-unquote, teamed up, but really the Devil Slayer was an impersonator from the Serpent Men, and it was just weird. F for you. The Cat, let's see. Xandu is more of a Doctor Strange villain, but from what I know of, he has fought Spider-Man a good load of times. And he has another magic villain for Spider-Man, so I will put him up here in D. No, I'll put him in C. Overdrive. Underrated character, of course. I'll put him in B because he has this really cool power to take over any vehicle he touches and, you know, transform into something he can use. And he's a member of the superior foes of Spider-Man. I mean, it's in the name. The Vulture. Definitely gonna go up in S. Yeah, he's not one of my top 10 Spider-Man villains, but oh, you know what? No, I'll put him in A. I made a complete history of video of him last year. Oh, look at that. Chameleon and Vulture side by side. I've been talking straight for almost an hour, I think. But, yeah, there's the iconic moment where he killed Aunt May's boyfriend, Nathan Lebinsky. And then during the funeral arrangement storyline where he found out he was dying from cancer, he decided to go after Aunt May to ask for her forgiveness. And then there was another story where he's just like, I want to die, and Spiderman smothers him with a pillow. And he's like, actually, I don't want to die. Of course, there was a time where he could go around and absorb people's youths as well, so he became young in the 90s. And that was also incorporated into the animated show in the 90s. Swarm. I'm going to put him up in B. He is a Nazi bee man. He can control bees. His skeleton has a whole bunch of bees surrounding it, which is how he can fly. But a lot of people do know of the character, so I'll put him in B. Spot. A lot of people love the guy, and I do too. I'll put him all the way up in A because he has this power to just teleport everywhere, and he can send people everywhere, and he can punch through, you know, dimensions. We know of his powers. And he had one of the greatest, I think it's one of the greatest episodes of the show in Spider-Man Taz episode 39 where Spot debuted. Oh, did I say I put him in A? Yeah, I'll put him in A. Diablo, what? Oh, I thought that was another one. Nightmare, he's not really a Spider-Man villain, but he did fight Mephisto. Right. Again, I hate One More Day, just like the next guy, but Typhoid Mary, I think it was a spectacular Spider-Man issue 213 where she teamed up, or she fought Spider-Man just one time, but she's more of a Daredevil character. Black Cat, more of a hero, I would say, in A, but if I wasn't, you know what? She's less of a hero than Silver Sable and stuff like that, so I'll put her up in A. Just because the stories and the lines where she was a threat were really, really good. The second Vulture, Blackie Drago. Forgotten, underrated, but maybe deservingly so. D. I mean, I'll put him in C, actually. He was the first Vulture to be in media. In the Spider-Man 1967 cartoon, that version of the Vulture was this one, Blackie Drago. Very cool. Who is this guy? Oh, is that the Sentry? I don't think that's the Hero Sentry. I think that's someone else, so I'll put him in F. Because, like I said, I don't even know that much. This is the first Wraith. I mean, Spider-Man, Iron Man villain. This is Captain Gene DeWolf's brother, and he has mind powers, and he goes crazy with his mind powers, so I'll put him in F because, come on. Mindworm is another, where was he? I just saw him. Oh, here he is. I'll put him in D, because I think his most iconic story is when he's homeless and he gets beat to death on accident. Well, not by accident, but just things go crazy. And before, he's just born a freak, and he has mind powers, so he sends a whole town. And the issue is issue 138, where Peter Parker moves into an apartment with Flash Thompson, and he sees that most people in the city are just walking to this old abandoned cabin in the middle of nowhere, which is where Mindworm feeds off their mind energies to stay alive and be happy. Silver Surfer is right here. Yeah, I fought Spider-Man, I think, in Silver Surfer issue 14. Not really a villain wizard. Again, leader of the Frightful Four. The Frightful Four have fought Spider-Man 2 or 3 times, not including the Ultimate Spider-Man cartoon show, which is where that picture is from. Kane, I would consider him a Spider-Man villain at the time when he's like this, so this is the messed up clone of Spider-Man with a messed up body. I'll put him up in B, actually. I really do like the Clone Saga. I know it might be considered a sin. Oh, the Smasher. this guy is just a robot, really, so F, the whole storyline was the mayor. The Walker's slowing again. Don't really care about the guy. F. Sorry, even though you're voiced by Val Kilmer. Thundershock, this was in the Spider-Girl universe. This is Electro's daughter, and Electro goes to Spider-Man and Spider-Girl for help. I'll put her in D. I do like this storyline. Street, this was in one story in the Marvel Adventures, so to say, kid series. In issue 4, Spider-Man and the Human Torch teamed up, but F, he's gonna go in there. And I'll do the rest when I take a breath. Okay, here I am again, and I've been away for an hour or so, and I thought that I didn't save because I need to reload, but it did save! Yay! Okay. And I zoomed out, of course, but I'll zoom back in when I'm done. Oh, I guess it doesn't matter, actually. Let me zoom in a little bit. Okay, here we go. Oh, the Scarecrow! My DC Comics version of Scarecrow is my favorite supervillain of all time. This guy barely fought Spider-Man, but his stories are, like, really, really good. Definitely one of my favorite forgotten Spider-Man rogues. I'll put him up in B. Like I said, I don't care about the way. The Persuader, he's a mutant who kind of just gets whatever he asks for. Almost like the Purple Man, I would say, but, his story's only in, like, 2 issues, and he gets killed by the Punisher. So D. Rocket Racer, maybe not a villain exactly, especially nowadays, but he was when he was originally created. But, you know, he had technology. He was in Spider-Man Taz episode 32. That 90s show had the Rocket Racer in it. But, now I'll put him in D. Let's see. These Spider Slayers from the Invasion of the Spider Slayers story arc. This really creepy looking Spider Slayer version. Probably the best one, though, out of all of them, honestly. So I'll put him up in, up here with Alistair Smythe in A, and I mean that. It's really good. Disc Jockey. This guy is very pathetic. Spider-Man talked with him one time, and he gave up. That was the guy. It was in the storyline, it was in the book, Secrets of the Sinister Six, or Secret of the Sinister Six, the storyline with the gentleman in Pity. And, yeah, Disc Jockey is just a guy, he never went outside, didn't know anything about superheroes and supervillains. He didn't even have a TV, and he decided to be a villain. He thought he was a genius for it, and of course, he was an idiot for it. Scorpia. She's alright, actually. I'll put her up in D. She's like a female scorpion. Obviously. Oh gosh. Megawatt. This guy is a knockoff of Electro. He's only been in one story. F. Riot. Just because he's in the movies, you know, he's kind of been pushed up to a D-list for me. Red Goblin. This is very confusing. Should I put Red Goblin in B? I only had one appearance, but no, I'll put him up here in C. With Blackie Drago. The WHO computer, he only had one appearance. And it was a murder mystery. Amazing Spider-Man issue 155. I'll put him in there. The Walrus, another super big loser Spider-Man villain, one of his worst villains. F. The Burglar, Dennis Carradine. I mean, he's just a guy with a gun. Yeah, he killed Uncle Ben. But, oh my goodness, where is he? Here he is. Well, in the Amazing Spider-Man issue 197 to 200, he had a really great story in there. In the movies, he's very funny. Just give me a chance, just give me a chance! So, I hope I'm all the way up in C. That's how much I like the character. This guy was from Marvel Superheroes issue 14. Oh gosh, I forget his name. I can't believe I did, but put him in F, because, come on. Raptor, this is the Vulture from the from the Spider-Girl universe, and the thing with her is, where did she go? You guys are up here, she is. I know her boyfriend kind of manipulated her into being a criminal. I think her boyfriend might have been the Tinkerer of the Spider-Girl universe. I don't know if I'm remembering that right, but I'll put her in C. The Ringer, the original one, but this is the look from the Ultimate Universe. He is a loser, but he became a much better character when he wasn't the Ringer, and the Ringer first appeared in The Defenders. I think it was issue 51 of The Defenders. He's good enough. I'll put him up in C as well. Raptor, he's only been in one story, I'm pretty sure. I mean, F. She-Venom, aka Eddie Brock's ex, Anne Wayne. There's a story where she fights Superman and wins in a Marvel DC crossover. She's okay. I remember the story where Spider-Girl became She-Venom. That's really why I'm putting it up in B. Screwball, the first Spider-Man comic collection I owned was Brand New Day Volume 3, not the Epic Collection of Volume 3, or I guess it's not an Epic Collection, but it started off with issue 559, which is Screwball's first appearance, and that's why I always have a soft spot for a book, so I'll put her up in C as well. A lot of C characters I'm just picking out here. Pandemania, F, because she stinks. The Cat, from issue 30. He also became the second person to call himself the Prowler, so there is something there. I'll put him in D. The second Rose, more of a jackpot villain, but not Spider-Man villain, but he's just a big, strong guy, really. F. Jury. There's a storyline in Amazing Spider-Man issue 365 to something. Don't really know. F. Tinkerer, one of Spider-Man's most, maybe unknown to the public villains. I don't know. I guess he was in the movie, so maybe that's not true anymore. But he was all the way back in issue 2. He creates a bunch of robots as well. Put him in B. And you see, I'm kind of tired. Night and Fog was these villains from like 1-2 issue storyline from Web of Spider-Man. Shartia or something. She only appeared in one story as well, I think. F. Tracer, he was only in one story. He was this guy who, I made a video about him. He was a robot. It was revealed in the end. He pretended to be a good guy to help Aunt May, but of course he was going to kill her, betray her. White Dragon, another forgotten rogue. He was in Amazing Spider-Man issue 184 and 185. He can shoot fire out of his helmet, but that's it. This electric, character lady, I forget her name, but F then. She's not bad, I forgot about her. Massacre, now this guy had a sort of an important role in the Spider-Man stories in the 2010s and the early days before Superior Spider-Man. He is just a madman who kills people. He has a brain injury, but don't worry, they don't use that as an excuse. He gets just shot. I think he gets shot and killed by Superior Spider-Man. I know he shoots him. I don't know if he dies. So, just considering the guy, his stories. The fourth Vulture. This is a genetic mutation Vulture who can shoot acid from his mouth, acid barf. He is just completely, figuratively, literally messed up character. And I'll put him in C for that. Spider Side, this is a guy from the Clone Saga, but he has the powers to shapeshift, and he also fought the New Warriors one time. Messed up Spider-Man clone. I'll put him in C, actually, because I just like the character. And this power is Menace. Menace, another villain I grew up with that I have a personal, positive bias towards. Harry Osborn's girlfriend, Lily Hollister, at the time, her dad, I think his name is Bill, became mayor right when she got unmasked to the public as the villain Menace, so that wasn't good for him. She stole the Goblin formula. I think it was during the Civil War part, where Norman Osborn was Iron Patriot and stuff like that. Oh, no, not Civil War. Was it Civil War? It was right after that. Anyway. B. I almost put her in A. Am I crazy? Moreland. A lot of people like Moreland. I don't really care. I know the storyline was very important, especially with the Aunt May confession moment issue that happened, but he's just a really strong guy. I know he's also has something to do with the Spider-Verse, but I'll put him in C. Oh my gosh, I have to keep scrolling. This is a... Oh man, I want to put him in not applicable. It's not really a villain. I think his name is Batwing. And I know it's a... Is that his name? Batwing or Wingbat? I think it's Wingbat, actually. But he was in Untold Tales of Spider-Man. And he goes there. The female Fatals, they were in 2 or 3 issues of Amazing Spider-Man. It was during the Chameleon, when the Chameleon pretended to take away Spider-Man's powers, and he and Black Cat was really sort of the hero. But you know what, I'll just put them in it. No, they're cool a little bit. D. I think this is Man-Killer. Yeah, I don't see Man-Killer anywhere else, so I do consider a Spider-Man villain as well. She was in Marvel Team-Up issue 8. I'll put her there. Stiltman, more of a Daredevil villain, but I know his storyline in issue 237 was cool. I'll put him in non-applicable. White Rabbit. She is a fun character. There's this Marvel Adventures story. I think it was Marvel Adventures issue 35 where her and Venom team up. But Venom was sort of just doing it to make it seem like, hey, don't you want the symbiote back? Or it was kind of confusing why Venom would want to give the symbiote back to Spider-Man. It wasn't explained well. C. Monster Ock from... Oh, who did I grab there? Monster Ock from the Spider-Man PS1 video game. Legendary figure, but only for a few minutes and you just run away from him, but D. Hippo, loser villain again. D. Hydro Man, one of my favorite Spider-Man villains, or maybe not my favorite character-wise, but for powers. He's like Sandman, but with water, and I think that is really cool. I will put him all the way up in A, honestly. Morris Bench. Scream. This is one of the bigger symbiotes to come out of the Venom verse. Up in, no, I'll put her in B. Okay. Silver Samurai, I know he's fought Spider-Man a handful of times, but I'll say non-applicable. I don't know, Goblin Queen, I think. I don't really know about her, so F, sorry. Oh, I guess I do know a little bit, so I'll put her in D. Why did I see Grey Goblin again? Get that image out of my head. There's this villain called the Spoiler Spider-Man fought one time. Ridiculous. Excuse me, when I cough. The Prowler. Again, not really a villain, but I do get that he did fight Spider-Man quite a few times, and also in the Ultimate Universe has some cool moments. I'll put him in B. Maybe I want to, you know what, I'll put him in A. Oh gosh, do I want to put him in A? Yeah, definitely. Oh gosh, what did I do? I just moved somebody. Oh, it's been over an hour. Vulture 2099. Believe it or not, I don't really like this version of Vulture. I think he's only in 3 storylines, but... Oh, where'd he go? Here he went. But I'll put him in D. Vulture, Noir. This guy ate Uncle Ben. Just for that, I'll put him up in C. A little bit better than 2099. A lot better, but... just for ranking. I think this is called the Cascade or something. This villain group from Web of Spider-Man again. F. As I talk it. Oh, Paper Doll. Another of the brand new day. Growing up with that I have a positive bias for. She was an obsessed stalker of a male celebrity, and she can just camouflage herself in the walls and stuff like that. I think it's good enough for C. Space Sin Eater. So sometimes these villains, ranking them, it's a little bit like, am I ranking their stories or their characters? Sin Eater is really just a madman with a shotgun. He does horrible things. He's the guy who killed Captain Jean the Wolf, but he did go in for a shield experiment. He was Stan Carter, and yeah, just the guy with the shotgun. I hate to say D, but really, Yeah, I'm really ignorant. Speed Demon. Yep, one of my favorites. He's gonna go up in A. Believe it or not. The Spider-Man villain with super speed. Of course, he also fought the Avengers as the Wizard in his first appearance, but I really like Speed Demon. Maybe all these should have been the smug in alphabetical order, but the Smuggler. In the future, he becomes the villain called Goliath. So Spider-Man fought him in the Spectacular Spider-Man issue 49. He was also in Spectacular Spider-Man issue 50 for a brief cameo. And he was in issue 54, and then he was in issue 60 when he became the Goliath. I think... Oh, and he also was a hero on the Thunderbolts, but he changed his name again from Goliath to Atlas. So there's that. I'll put him in D, though. I don't remember. I think that story, he was kind of boring. The Wall, one of Spider-Man's most ridiculous villains. F, for sure. The Queen. Now, I remember her being a big part of Spider Island, kind of the reason that happened, and she was a villain who teamed up with a Spider-Man and Captain America teamed up, but I'll put her in D. Don't really care that much about her. This guy, Skinhead, was in 2 issues of Web of Spider-Man, issues 10... Oh, no, not 107. I think it was like 65 and 66. No, it was 64 and 65? I don't know. He became a giant blob, basically. So that's Skinhead. The Shroud. He made Spider-Man have a nightmare. I think it was one of Spider-Man issue 90 or something. There we go. The Shocker. A-list. A-list. I love Shocker. A nobody loser who, with his genius in engineering, made shock gauntlets to rattle bank vaults open for him. And he just goes in there and takes the money. He's in video games. He's in cartoons. I've always liked the Shocker. And I like his costume a lot. The Spider Slayers from Spider-Man Taz. I really don't think these guys did that good. I did like how they transformed, so I'll put them up in D. Or transformed, combined. That's what I meant to say. Moonstone. She's more of a Hulk villain. She fought Spider-Man one time in Spectacular Spider-Man issue 61. So there's that. Here's this guy called the Shade. I forget his story. I think it had to do with Blade. F. Another Spider Slayer from Amazing Spider-Man issue 291, where Spider-Man asks Mary Jane to marry him, but anyway, F. Killer Shride. Not really a Spider-Man villain, but it's okay. The Mud Thing, where Sandman and Hydro Man combined. He was like Godzilla, basically. F. Lady Octopus, the one from the comics, who fought Scarlet Spider. Carolyn Trainer. I don't really know that much, but she does have cool, technique. Toxin, not really a villain, so I'll put him in an A. The second Spider Slayer, I didn't like him as much as the first one, but definitely a good step up. Sorry, not step up. They definitely went backwards from this one, for sure. Where's the first one in A? Yes, I'll put him in C. He's just not as good. Stegron the Dinosaur Man. He first appeared in Marvel Team Up issue 19 with Spider-Man and the Black Panther teaming up to fight him. He also fought the Lizard one time, so I'll put him... He used to be a lab assistant of Dr. Connors, and that's really... Oh, I'll put him in B, actually. I think he's that cool. This is Venom. Wow. Have I not done Venom yet? What an idiot. Yes, Venom is going to go all the way up into S because he is so cool. Eddie Brock. I like the versions where they make him more connected to Peter Parker's history. Eddie Brock about to commit suicide, and then the symbiote falls on him, and they bond to become Venom, and over the years he's become a superhero. Has had his own series. His greatest enemy, I would say, is Carnage. And Amazing Spider-Man issue 374 and 375, where Spider-Man has a final confrontation against Venom, where they're one-on-one, both enemies, and not just anti-sidekicks, and Venom becomes an anti-hero after the story. Actually, 3 issues after 375 was Amazing Spider-Man 378, which I think is part 2 of the Maximum Carnage storyline. Alright. Venom 2099. Or just my friend, a YouTuber, J Williams 99, made a complete history of Venom 2099 video. And it's really interesting. I'll put him in C. This is Mr. Fears, a Daredevil villain. I'll put him in there. This is Scorn. I'll put her in... I'll put her in D. I don't even know if we can consider her a villain, but anyway. Best thing about this video is going to be me just going through these characters and naming them all. Vermin. He first appeared in a Captain America story, but after that he just continued to fight Spider-Man. Of course, his most famous appearance is in the Kraven's Last Hunt storyline, or the Amazing Spider-Man video game from 2012. He is a guy who... oh gosh, not Baron Mordo. Baron Mordo. Is he on this list? I don't think he was. And neither is the Easter Bunny. There's this one story where this girl became a villain Easter Bunny because this guy sat on her Easter egg basket. But anyway, this is the City Stealers from Marvel Team Up 28 with... or no, 29 I think with Hercules. F. Where was that character I was moving? Oh my goodness. Oh, Vermin. So yeah, he's cool. Of course, there's the Child Within storyline, which is really great as well. Put him in B. Typeface. I made a video a little over a year ago, top 5 worst Spider-Man villains, and he was number 3. Number 2 was Disc Jockey, and number 1 was... I forget. I really do. This is a Spider-Verse sort of threat called the Inheritors. I don't really know much about them, unfortunately. I just know they're a thing. There's a Spider-Verse Omnibus coming out in October. No, September, I think. So, I mean, I'll put them in D. I mean, I know they're not F material. Come on. This is Black Spider, I'm guessing. This is more of a Daredevil character. It's not even really a villain, so... There we go. This is Magma. He's a loser villain. I think he first appeared in an X-Men comic, but then he fought Spider-Man for 2 issues. Taskmaster. Whew. And yay, only a few more. Oh, this is supposed to be from Web of Spider-Man 104, the bounty hunter guy who was going after Rocket Race. He only had 1 appearance, and it was that story, so F. This is the giant one from Amazing Spider-Man 108 and 108 and 109, where Spider-Man and Doctor Strange teamed up to fight him. Again, after my memory's starting to come back. This is Marrow, I think that's her name. She was sort of seen as a hero in the Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man storyline with the 3 Mysterios, issues 11 through 13. But after that, she just became a loser villain. I don't even know if she fought Spider-Man, really. Shriek. I actually like Shriek a lot, especially after the movie and making a Forgotten Rogues video on her. She has sonic power. She can be seen as the Harley Quinn of Marvel Comics, but not overused and not trying to be a ripoff of Deadpool. I like her so much, I'll put her in B. No, I might put her in A. Yeah, I'll put her in A. Yeah, honestly. Okay, the second Rhino. You know what? Again, I love the Rhino as a character. This guy only had 2 appearances and he died, but... Oh gosh, I want to put him in C, but really, he should be in F tier. I'll put him in D. An average ranking. This guy is Gregory Harold. I don't even think he had a supervillain name. F, don't even know what issue he appeared. This is another Dr. Octopus from 2099, but I don't know anything about him, so... There you go. Oh, the Spider-Man video game of Dr. Octopus 2099 from Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions isn't on here either. That's okay. This is, oh gosh, I think it's like Captain George Stacy's cousin or something. F, oh gosh, I forget his name. I'm sorry. Oh, this guy's from, Spider-Man The Next Chapter, Volume 1. Just a guy who can burn himself. Let me get back to you so I can give you some more information. Whoops. Alrighty, time to finish this up. So, oh gosh, where was her? She was a girl with electricity powers. I think her name is Supercharger. Up here she is. I think that's her name. This guy, Stuart Ward. So nothing about Captain Stacy. Senator Stuart Ward. He's not even partly a villain, but whatever. This guy is named, I didn't see my screen. I wanted to look at these characters, make sure. Shardak. He was in a few issues. Spider-Man Amazing Spider-Man Volume 2, Issue 3. Incandescent Man can drain electrical energy from any source and project it from his body. The more energy he drains, the larger he gets. And you can see what he looks like here. Again, I had to look him up, so I'm going to say F. Sorry, this guy, Regent. Who is he? Augustus Roman. Let's have some fun here. Empire Unlimited CEO hated superhumans ever since his family died during a fight between the Avengers and the Masters of Evil. He created a prison known as the Cellar, located on Rikers Island. After his own powers of enough supervillains, he decided to set his targets on the Avengers. Is he a Spider-Man villain? Oh, yeah, he is. Oh, he's a Miles Morales Spider-Man villain. Okay, so I guess he's a guy who hates villains, and he took their powers to keep fighting. And this guy, I have no idea who he is, unfortunately. I really don't know. Sorry, this is the one guy I cannot tell. No head, no body. If I find out, I'll put it in the description. But that guy is the one guy I did not know or even think about. I don't know how to, search him up. But everyone else, I'm 100% positive that I know. I might not put him in the best place, but that is it. Woo! There we go. All over 250 Spider-Man-like characters in his history ranked for my 500th video. Wow, look at this. Just look at these NAs, but he has tussles with these characters. Whether they're hero or villain or anti-hero, or you get it? Or not even really. I mean, they're a villain, like Wizard's a villain, Killer Shrike is a villain, Matt Dinker, Grey Gargoyle, Lunatic, Jigsaw, Juggernaut, Magneto, Doctor Doom, Egghead, Kang, Cobra, Thanos, Griffin, Diablo, the Blob, the Orb, Absorbing Man, Beyonder. Well, Beyonder is more of a, not really a villain. The Owl, Red Skull, Anti-Venom, again, Anti-Venom, maybe not. Alright, here's F tier, the just loser villains, and let me see, how many are on here? 4, 8, 9, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Wow. At least 90 I put into F, and I only have like 50-something forgotten Spider-Man Rogue villains, so I could make videos on a lot more episodes going into these characters, although I guess like the second Tarantula, he's not really a villain. And of course, some are losers that I've already just people know about them. They're not forgotten. They're just known as losers. Like, oh, I guess doesn't really matter right now. Excuse me. D-list, just above loser, like Quicksand and Sandstorm, and of course, my opinion, but Clash, Big Wheel, Kangaroo. Yeah, Kangaroo was in here twice. The Smuggler, Sin Eater, maybe these are also counted as forgotten. Lady Octopus, the Queen, Faye, Scryer, the different Spider Slayers, the Voltrons, Mania, I think that's the symbiote girl's name right there. Agonies, the purple one, Bloodshed, the second Ringer, Gaunt, you get it. Shock right here, Lady Stilt Man, Man Mountain Marco. Oh, I think I already made a video about him, didn't I? Oh, no, I didn't. It was a comic review where Man Mountain Marco fought Iron Man and Power Fist. Anyway, see, of course these kind of get smaller as I go up, but maybe that's what's supposed to happen. There's the second Molten Man, there's Zandu, there's Spider Side, there's the Ringer, there's Screwball, Vulture 4, Equinox, the Foreigner, Chance, Electro 2099, the female Electro, Pity, the Gentleman, Tarantula, Hypno Hustler, Iguana, the Squid, the original Big Man. B tier, Mr. Negative. These are more like my personal favorites that I just like. I can't put them any lower. The Gibbon, Grizzly, Vermin. The Doppelganger, Hybrid. Again, maybe he's not really a villain. Boomerang, Answer, Molten Man, Cardiac, Silvermane, Puma, Lightmaster, Calypso, Hammerhead Noir, the 4th Hobgoblin from Big Time right there. See the 4th one? Anyway. A, the 2nd Mysterio, the Rose, the Vulture, and Chameleon, and Craven, and Shocker, and Shriek. I really do, and Prowler, Speed Demon, Hydro Man, the ultimate deadly spider stage from the storyline. And S tier, Green Goblin, Carnage, Dr. Octopus, Electro, Rhino, Green Goblin 2, the Lizard, Mysterio, Sandman, Hammerhead, and Venom. So, holy moly, that's a lot. So let's just see how many completed rows there are, because I'm gonna make this video go long. No, just kidding. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37. Let's just count, let's just say there's 40 rows in total, so 40 times 9, that's 360 characters here. Or about 360 characters here, and of course there are some that I mentioned, they're not on here, but like Dr. Octopus 2099 from the video game Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions, or the Easter Bunny Rogue that he fought one time. There's probably some others that are made up for the Spider-Man 2017 cartoon I completely didn't think about. Maybe there's some robots he fought that aren't in here, like oh, I guess the Matt Thinker can count as that. I think it was issue 243 called Obsession, where there's like the Matt Thinker android that was after him. Anyway, thank you for watching this ginormous video ranking every Spider-Man adversary. That's what this is called, right? So I'll put the link in the description, probably. Thank you for watching this 500th video. I really hope you enjoyed, and please have a great day.